I have a gift for you. My third book, The Intentional Design Year, is out, and I want to give you access to read it. To get the digital copy for 1 month for free, go to www.designsweetcourses.com/intentional. Make sure and do the www. Because for some reason, that's the only way it will work. Anyway, this will get you free access to read the book for an entire month. If you love it, you can always go to Amazon and get the whole book plus the prompt journal. Welcome to the Make and Design podcast. I'm Carina Gardner, and today I have something special for you. So we've pulled the audio from an episode I did on YouTube with Lori Whitlock. It's Dishing the Tea with Lori Whitlock, and the two of us talk about the sheer finances and how much money we've made as designers. It's kind of a sneak peek because I know I have talked about this, especially in design boot camps, about how much money you can actually make. Most people outside don't really understand the financial of those things and how it comes to be. And Lori and I talk about it because we both have done multiple six figures. So I think that you are going to be very intrigued by this episode. If you want to watch Lori and I talk about it, you can find it on my YouTube channel at youtube.com/Carina Gardner. Just look up Lori Whitlock, Dishing the Tea. She's come on several times since, and we're doing like kind of monthly crafting with you videos. So if you want to come see what we're up to, it's a really fun way to do things. And I hope you come check us out. But in the meantime, this is us just talking about our most recent trip to Japan, which we had with Silhouette, which was in September of 2025. So it's been a hot minute. And then us talking about design. So this is pretty authentic stuff. We kind of just talk about it, and I hope that is helpful for you. Hello, you guys. I have a special guest here. It's my good friend, Lori Whitlock.
Hi, guys.
We've been designing together for a very, very long time.
Yeah.
In a lot of the same spaces.
Absolutely. Yeah. Which is kind of crazy.
It is super crazy. I was just thinking fabric.
Yeah.
Because we both designed for Riley Blake.
Yeah.
Silhouette for many, many years.
Echo
Park Cartabella, right? For paper. So this is really fun because I think being able to hear from Lori, well, first we're going to kick things off with Japan stuff, but I think it's really fun for you guys to learn a little bit about her. All right, I'm just checking.
Thanks for having me today, Carina.
This is awesome. Hello, you guys. Come on in and say hello. We're happy to chat with you. We're going to get started. So Lori and I just both got back from Japan.
Mm-hmm.
How many? You're more recent.
We stayed till September 15th. So yeah, I'm still in that like little bit of a letdown from getting home from Japan mode.
Yeah.
We loved it so much. It was awesome.
I came back the 7th, so it's been a little bit longer for me. But Lori brought some things for us to Lori brought us a few things so she could show you some of the things that she did in Japan. And then you guys can ask questions. Hi, Tiffany. Hello, Heidi. Mm-hmm. So glad to have you guys here. So, Lori, you want to pull out some things?
Okay.
To talk about it?
All right.
We should probably preface this by saying the reason we were in Japan is because we were there for the Silhouette Summit.
That's right. Yeah. So, yeah, it's a good thing Silhouette invited us because I don't know. I probably wouldn't have just booked a trip to Japan, and I'm so glad that they had that opportunity for us. It was super cool.
It was an incredible experience.
Yeah.
Also, will you guys tell us if the mics are working and you guys can hear us okay? I just want to make sure because sometimes the mics are a little bit off. So let us know in the chat if it's working okay. All right.
Okay. All right. I mean, it's nothing too record breaking, but we had a delightful trip to Japan, and so it was my husband, my daughter, Ashland, and I. So all three of us went to Japan together. And my daughter, Ashland, she loves Japan so much. So it was fun to see her. It was kind of like she was there in her little playground, but we came back with a cute little doll.
Cute?
What did you
guys, it's a geisha.
Geisha. I always say it wrong. Isn't it?
So
She's the cutest.
Isn't that so beautiful? Where did you buy this?
Just oh gosh. It was in Kyoto. In a little gift shop there. There's tons of shopping.
We should talk about this because the first time I went, I did Tokyo, Kyoto, and Osaka. Mm-hmm. What did you do on your trip?
Tokyo. Then we took the bullet train down. Well, we started in Tokyo, bullet train to Kyoto. And while we were there, we stayed in one Airbnb for 6 nights and did day trips out to Nara and Osaka.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So good.
It's really fun.
It's like they're far enough away that you're like, oh, should I go? But then you're like, oh, I gotta go.
Yeah.
It's pretty
I mean, and I feel like I just saw a little tiny bit of Japan even with that, but it was awesome. And I definitely want to go back for sure.
Yeah.
Anyways,
so
Ashlyn picked out this cute little doll I love. She got this darling little game. I don't know. She's got these cute little illustrated cards. They're just really fun.
So cute. Here, give me a
So
couple.
I'll do
up close. Look how cute.
And they're
these
not
are.
paper. They're made out of a little plastic. And it's kind of like I don't understand the game. Ashlyn was trying to explain it to me, but you have to get pieces of a set that match, and then you claim them, and then you win with different combinations of collections and points and things. So such a cute little
That is in such
game.
a cute set.
I know.
The way it's set up is darling.
Yeah.
I don't think we ever saw anything like that.
I think we got this at Don Quixote
Okay.
in the game area.
Okay.
Okay. Treats. Of course, we had to get lots of fun Japanese treats.
So many good
7-Eleven stops are kind of dreamy.
Mandatory.
Yeah.
Well, when we were all together, you, me, my sister, and Melissa, and then Melissa's daughter, Penelope, was with us as well. We probably stopped at 4 7-Elevens along the way.
Oh, we did like a progressive lunch one day. Yeah, we picked up like a roll.
Yanni was
and ice
determined to
cream.
have an egg salad sandwich.
Yes.
Like she was like, I will be having one of these.
But before she got the egg salad, she ran into like a strawberry kiwi sandwich first. It was so cute.
It was really fun.
Yeah. I love it. Okay, a few more things. My daughter Ashlyn collected this cute little book. Let's see. Which end does it start in? I think over here. So in Japan, at all the temples, you can pick up a little book like this, and you have to buy their book. And then at each of the temple sites, you can have them draw some hiragana. I don't know what's a
I don't
kanji.
know.
Kanji.
Yeah, kanji.
So
But isn't that gorgeous?
Yes, so pretty. And
it's just so beautiful, you guys.
I know, it's really fun to see them writing it, drawing it. And then Ashlyn, of course, decided to use the rest of the book to write about the trip. So she's used it as a journal, which I thought was really cool. And she filled both sides of it. So
yeah,
pretty cool. Yeah. Such a pretty little book. So then one of the things in our Airbnb we stayed in, they had these darling little towels that are long and skinny. It's like a little face towel, hand towel. And I found a place where I could buy several of them. So they just hang them over the little rod in the bathroom, and that's your little bathroom towel.
I'm jealous of that. I wish I had bought some of these because I love those for hand towels because we don't make them long and skinny like that.
I know. I really like it too. Little face towel, hand towel. And so I bought 3 or 4 of them. They have different patterns on them. Some of them had little, scenes like this Mount Fuji. I got one with just the flowers only. And then my other daughter has her bathroom's orange. So she wanted an orange patterned one. Really cute. Okay. One of my favorite things I bought there was this darling set of bamboo placemats. So
how many did you end up buying of these?
I bought 6 of them for my table.
For your table.
And it looks so cute in the fall. I love it. It's made out of bamboo. It's hand put together in Japan. So that's a special little keepsake. Yeah. Thought those were fun.
And Angel Wings, Rena is asking, is it really feasible to make 6 figures designing your own print? That's an interesting question.
Well,
that's a loaded question, is what it is.
Yes. Should we move on to that subject?
We can talk about that, and then I do want you to show your Mickey glasses.
Okay. One more.
We'll do the one last thing, and then that's
okay.
a great question. So
all right.
We can really talk about it.
At the end of our trip, we landed at Tokyo Disney, and my daughter was insistent on going to find these cute Mickey glasses. Only available at Tokyo Disney. So
Tokyo Disney only.
Yeah, you can't get them in Florida. You can't get them in California.
Yeah. You know what's so interesting too is because Kim from her Blue Gun was there with us, and they went to Disney Sea after us, and they said they liked Disneyland better than Disney Sea. What did you like
really?
Better?
I actually enjoyed Disney Sea because Disneyland felt like Disneyland in California. So for me, it was nice to see something
I think
different.
it might have been the days that Kim and we went because it was so hot that Disney Sea was kind of miserable.
Okay.
There weren't a lot of places to cool down. And whereas Disneyland, once you got into Beauty and the Beast Castle, it was cool. You know what I mean?
True.
So there was some of that.
Yeah. I loved the Frozen ride, the Beauty and Beast ride. Like those are some I hadn't been on before. So fun.
Yeah. It was really, really good.
Disney Sea was cool. Just the whole layout of the park. It just felt fresh and different. And that's probably what I loved most about that park.
So good.
Yeah.
All right, should we get to the hard questions? Well, okay, we're going to answer this question, but then I'm going to have Lori talk a little bit about herself because I think it will really help you guys understand kind of what we do. Lori and I have always made six figures.
Yeah.
I mean, so if you're like, is it possible? The answer is Lori and I have always made a lot of money. And not just us, but lots of the designers that we are friends with have made multiple six figures. So the answer is yes. The little caveat to that is be careful who you listen to and what you do, because not all avenues work.
That's true. I mean, for me specifically, being able to earn a high salary in the design industry has kind of come down to who I've known. It's not, I mean, it's the combination of skills that I had for sure, which I needed and could not have done any of it without that. But then it's been just take a step forward and you're going to meet somebody or some window or door is going to open for the next opportunity. And so I would just say the only way it's possible is if you're super persistent and you're super dedicated and you're not scared to put something out into the world. And then just one door will open and then you're going to learn something you needed to know for the next door to open, and again and again and again until the next thing you know, you've built this great business. I don't know. That's kind of how it's worked for me.
It doesn't happen magically overnight. It's like you got one thing.
Yeah.
And the problem is sometimes I'll see designers, they'll get one licensing deal for like $100. You guys, that is not one thing. Like if you made $100 in your one little licensing deal, that's not the one thing. Like you need one big thing, like that kind of comes up and gets going. But it is interesting. Who you know really does matter in the industry.
Mm-hmm.
I was just even thinking about, we had someone in our programs where like they need distribution. And I was like, you need to go talk to this person and this person and this person. They wouldn't have gone and talked to those people if I hadn't said, you need to go talk to these distributors to get what you need. I said that weird. Distributors to get what you need, right? But the same thing happened to me. I was just thinking about, so I was the creative director at Cartabella. Lori was the main designer for Echo Park. You still are.
I'm definitely one of them for sure.
Okay, so anyway. So the only reason I got that deal with Cartabella is because I was previously designing for My Mind's Eye, and we had mutual people that we knew that had moved over to Cartabella, and they gave me a call and said, hey, Carina, are you still designing for them? And I was I took a 9-month break to go focus on this. And they're like, are you still interested in paper? And I was like, I am. I'm actually considering designing my own, like doing my own company. And they're like, what if we partnered with you and created a company? And I was like, now that's an interesting idea. Mm-hmm. So letting yourself voice what you're thinking you want to do, and also being okay with like those negotiations and finding the right fit for you. Because I think at that time I feel really grateful that instead of starting my own company, I just went with them and they were really happy to build the second company with me.
Yeah. For me, I know that I needed to, the beginning of my career after I graduated from college with a degree in graphic design, I went to work for an ad agency and then a branding firm. And I did that for about 10 years. So I feel like I did my dues to learn and get that foundation that I absolutely had to have to be able to move on. So if you have an opportunity don't be afraid to get in and put some hard work in where you're expected to meet deadlines, learn from coworkers, peers, like you're learning constantly in that type of atmosphere, different tricks or ways of approaching a problem, like, because there's 15 ways to solve the same problem. Yes. But I might think of it differently than someone else, but knowing how someone else might think about it would help me with the future project, if that makes sense. So when I left there, I had a really solid understanding of production, printing, design, how to work with clients, how to run a meeting with clients. I I don't know if that makes sense.
And then I do. And I think the whole idea of dues, because the thing is, I run into new designers all the time. A lot of them have graduated from college, right? So they already have a head up, right? Because if you graduate with, you had a BA, BFA.
A BA in design.
BA in design.
With an emphasis in graphic design.
And I had a master's and a PhD in design. So I already had like a leg up, right? Because it's like between the two of us, we had already done all of our due diligence in school. Then you have to put in your dues in the real world, and that sucks. And just like hearing your 10 years for me, like I immediately started a business, and you guys know, like the first year I was like, what the heck am I doing? I'm not making any money. Like this is crap, but you're just working it to make it work. I do think I run into people who are like, well, if I only have 3 months to get this going, like, what should I do? And I'm just like, if you only have 3 months, then I don't know that this is for you. Right? Because it's a long game. Like you're in it because you want to be a designer.
Yeah, for sure. I was raising little children when I left college. I had babies. And so I was working like 4 hours a day at an ad agency. And so for me, that's what fit into my life. My husband was working highway patrol. We were just I would work in the morning. He was home with the kids. So he left at, 2 p.m. He worked swings. So that's what worked in our life. I don't think I would have been quite ready to start my own business right then. I needed to learn some of the things that I learned. I mean, I got my PhD on the job, right?
Yes, that is true.
Those years were my years to like bring it all together and learn how to do business with it. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm going to say this, like in total, like I know few people who have made as much money as Lori and I have made in the crafting space as designers. There's like a few others kind of in our realm. A lot of them actually have an influencer piece to it as well. You and I really haven't.
Just little, yeah.
Tiny
it's
bit.
Definitely not the majority of our money.
Right. Like I wasn't doing affiliate links. I was definitely not working hard on Instagram, or any of the socials. So, like I would never attribute what I was doing there influencer stuff. I was really just designing and making money and building relationships with people in industry.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, back in the olden days, we would go to like trade shows and we would meet people in person.
Yes.
And I hate to say it, but I miss those days. And I wish they were still here because it is where you really do business. Yeah. I don't know.
I think they're still here. There just depends on the industry, right? Because Quilt Market still has
That's true. You've just got to go to niche.
You have to go to more niche things. The same thing when we had Mini Lou, we would go to toy fairs, so we were in toy and gift fairs. So I think that they're coming back because I feel like I've been seeing them come back after COVID. It's taken a hot second for them to come back. But I do think that was one of the best investments I made, was going to some of those shows and meeting people, because that was like my entire network started building off of that.
Yeah, for sure. And I kind of started my network in the studio where I was working because scrapbooking was really taking off in Utah. And I just met a lot of manufacturers. I got hooked up with CK Media. I was doing all of their stuff for their Scrapbook Rewards credit card. I was building out that whole program for them. And then they started this Kit of the Month program. So I started designing 5,000 piece kits and sending files off to China to get those produced. So I learned from those things, how to be really fast as a designer. Like I had to crank out like buttons, brads, washi tape, pattern card fronts, and all the embellishment pieces to go with it in a really quick turnaround time, because we were putting a kit out every single month. So that I was working with like Becky Higgins and Lisa Burnson, and all those people that I met from doing that is what kind of branched out and led me to all the contracts that I have now.
Yeah.
And I've had through the years, like even some that I still don't service.
I agree. I feel like the last few contracts I have done have all come from people I've known or who wanted my style because they knew I had done X, Y, and Z. I was just thinking, like, the last thing I did that was kind of bigger was like the Sawgrass thing, right? Exclusive. And it was only because Sarah called me and was like, hey, we need an exclusive. Do you want to do one?
I don't even know what you did. Tell me about this.
Oh, I think you did it as well, didn't you, for Sawgrass?
I did a live like this with them.
Oh, I didn't even do a live with them. I did not have time. They just said, Carina, will you give us a set of exclusive designs?
Okay.
And I said, sure thing.
Oh, yeah, I did do it.
Yeah, I feel like you did do that.
Why? That was.
I'm like looking. I was thinking about this, and I was like, "Okay, Lori trusted them, so I'll trust them as well." So I was like, "Yeah, I'll do that for you guys." So
thanks for bringing that back up. I
know,
forgot about that one.
Because it's been a little while. I did it more recently, but I haven't had time to do contracts for anyone for a while.
Yeah,
that is the other thing. I'm more in the education space. Lori is still designing, and it's it's still a lot of work. It's still what it was like 10 years ago, but it's maybe even a little more work.
Actually, I have kind of pulled back just a little bit on how much time I devote to my work. I still feel like I work hard, but maybe I kind of manage my hours a little differently. If that makes sense. Because there was a while where I was putting in 14-hour days, like to build a website and get a business up and running and get enough product put out to like have a presence. Like it was a lot.
Did you guys hear her? She said 14-hour days.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing I think that a lot of times I try to emphasize to you guys, especially if you're trying to get started. Like everyone thinks, I hear it all the time, just do a little bit every day. Little bit every day is a hobby. I remember I was doing the same thing, 14-hour days plus Saturdays. And then of course, like we're also managing kids and stuff like that. So like, I feel like I was like racing around all the time.
Yeah. I mean, luckily I had a lot of support from my husband. Like he retired almost 8 years ago now. So he was there to pick up the slack at home and just help me with business as needed. But yeah, I mean, I would put my kids to bed at 8 and I'd work till 3 at night. And then I'd go to sleep and I'd get them up and get them off to school and I'd work some more and maybe take a nap. And I don't know, it was like, I was just kind of on this constant cycle. Probably wasn't the healthiest. So I don't highly recommend it, but it is kind of what it takes to build a business. I don't know.
Yeah. I had a similar, but I could never stay up till 3 a.m. I stopped at 1 p.m. and then I would get up early before the kids would wake up and I would do like a 5 a.m. to 7 p.m. or 7 a.m. and then get the kids off to school from 7 to 9. And then if I had one at home, which I almost always did, I would just work around, do play date schedules. So it's like, I could get 2 days in, I'll trade play dates or whatever. I would do that kind of thing. But it was, it's more work than people think because to create really exceptional design work, you're putting in time, right? Secondly, like you have to be fast. You really have to be fast because you're like quickly onto trends and all that other stuff. Like you just have to be fast in the programs too, which I don't know if you just noticed this. I'm really bugged at Photoshop. They just changed like 3 things and they're making me angry. Sorry, Adobe, you're pissing me off.
What did you notice?
Oh my gosh, you guys, this is the most annoying thing ever. So yesterday I was doing our Christmas card. Design Suite members, you guys know you'll get a Christmas card from me. Okay, I was doing the cloning tool because I had my hair, we're in Alaska, my hair's like this, like crazy, so I was just like, I'm just going to clone that out, right? Just to fix my hair so it's straight. It's not that big of a deal. For some reason, they've switched the background and foreground so that it was only grabbing it on the background. So I couldn't click. You know how you really quick, you just click, color, click, color, click, color. I couldn't do that. I had to switch the background into the foreground every time. I went to ChatGPT to ask them how to fix it. And they were like, we can't figure out how to fix this particular thing. They're like, is it set up in the reset? Could you reset the brushes? I went through, I reset all the brushes.
Okay. Well, I know Command M's acting different for me right now, but I don't know what that's about. It's either because I just got a new computer and installed Photoshop and I need to check my presets.
No, it's probably an Adobe problem. We blame you, Adobe. Well, did you also see that they switched it so now that you don't have to hold down the shift key for everything? It screws
me up. I've been doing it for 20 years.
So what I did was I actually went back and reset it back.
Oh, you can do that?
Yes.
Oh, nice. Okay.
That's what we have all our designers do. We have them go back and reset it so that you have to hold down the shift key to do proportions.
Yeah, I hold it down and it goes wonky and I'm like, what is wrong with my computer? Okay, thank you. I can go change that.
Photoshop. Thank you, Adobe. Okay. So anyway, for those of us who have been using Adobe, I think I've been using Adobe for 25 years.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember when I taught InDesign during my master's degree, I taught a Design on Fire class. It was a graphic design foundations class, and they pulled cork at the last second. Cork pulled all their licensing, and we had to teach InDesign. So the professors all learned it 2 weeks before we all had to teach it.
Oh, yeah. I remember that painful transition. I was already working in the industry and I knew Quark inside and out. I designed a million newsletters and then I had to switch to InDesign. And that's one of those times you just bite the bullet and go do it. I knew I had to. I knew Quark was on its way out. I knew InDesign was the new just had to spend 2 weeks and just learned it and start changing all your commands. Just do it.
Super painful.
Yeah, it was.
But
so
Adobe, you can make it less painful for us.
Okay, this is going to really date me, but when I went to college and I learned Illustrator and InDesign and Photoshop, well, I didn't learn InDesign because it didn't exist. I learned Quark, but I learned Photoshop before it had an undo button. There was no Command Z, just so you know. This was back in 1996.
Yeah, I wasn't using it then. I didn't start using it until 2001.
Okay.
So
I'm 5 years ahead of you. So I've been using it for 30 some years.
Isn't that crazy? So crazy, you guys? It totally goes fast. And, sometimes I think people think it's timing to become a designer. I actually think there are more opportunities than ever. We need freelance designers right now. We need creative directors right now. There's tons of things you can do with design. You just have to be willing to put in the time. And that's the way it is with any business, truthfully.
Absolutely. Yeah. No matter what business you're building, you've got to put in the time. I would say, there's got to be a lot of companies that need designers. And if you can just get your foot in the door for maybe even a year of experience, will get you a long ways down the road, because you'll meet people and you're going to learn things. And it's just one step and then the next step, and
I tried to give this advice to one of my sisters, and she didn't take it. And now she's taking the long road. I'm just like, just go do your dues for 1 year. And she was just like, I don't want to. And I was just like, well, then good luck for the next 5 years. Right? It is really, really tough, because it is just learning, meeting people, learning what you need to know. You can literally make it in any industry. And I don't want to say we've been lucky, but we've been presented with a lot of good opportunities.
We have been,
because we were prepared for those opportunities.
Yeah.
But the average, just so you guys know, the average graphic designer who comes out of college, their average salary with a bachelor's degree is $58,000. That's what was published, I think, on educationdata.org or something. So $58,000. And both of us have far exceeded that. Is what we're going to say.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's the power of owning your own business versus working in a corporate culture.
Oh yeah. The day I went in to quit my day job, it was scary. I was like, oh, I'm going to be giving up this steady paycheck. But it was by far the best decision I ever made.
Yeah.
Because I was able to instantly double my income and then quadruple and beyond. But yeah, it was a really good decision, even though it was scary. So I don't know, go out there, learn what you can, meet people, take new opportunities, take chances. It's okay. There's nothing that's going to break. Nothing's going to, you know what I mean? If you don't take the chance, you'll never get there. You're going to fail at all the chances you didn't take, for sure. Right. But if you'll take the chance, you're going to succeed at some of them, and then it's going to lead you to new things. So
I agree with that. I also think something that was kind of alluded to in the initial question, can you make 6 figures doing, I don't know if they said pattern design. Do you remember what they said?
I think you said pattern design, but I don't know if that means fabric.
Designing your own print. I'm going to make a corollary to this, because everyone thinks, I wouldn't consider what the two of us do surface pattern design. Do we do some of it? Yes, but we're designers.
Yeah.
So if you think that you can just make it off of prints, which is what the question alluded to, the answer is, I don't know, because we've never had to do that. We've never tried to do that.
When you say prints, are you talking scrapbook paper? Are you talking posters? Are you talking an Etsy shop where you print prints for people of things you've designed? I don't know.
So notice how she just said all these different things. I think most people, when they think about prints, they're just thinking about fabric repeats. And I would tell you the answer is no.
No, you're going to have to figure out what to apply it to. No. It's going to have to be, you're going to need a contract with the fabric company, or you're going to need a contract with wallpaper or some,
like how she was like, the
wallpaper on these beautiful walls. Yeah. I don't know. I
think even on its own, you'd still have to do other things, because remember early days, so did you do sewing patterns? I did sewing patterns.
I never did sewing patterns. Oh, that's another type of pattern, right?
Yeah, another pattern, right? So it's so in order to get to that 6 figures, it's I had a scrapbooking contract. I had a fabric contract.
I was doing online platforms, which was bringing me actually the most money. I had like freelance deals on top of that. And it was multiple six figures. Both Lori and I were in that same boat. So there were multiple things going on, but we were working in 3D and we were working.
Absolutely. Yeah. I've never been able to just do one thing and make that much money at any one thing. Mm-hmm. I mean, maybe SVGs for a while. Well, for quite a while.
Yeah.
But then then that kind of has changed. But yeah, I mean, I would definitely say spread yourself into different areas, because multiple streams of income is really great.
Yeah. But being careful about it as well. Like if you're a brand new designer and you haven't gone to design school, start with one. Like you got to work really hard and get really good at one before you start just spreading yourself. Absolutely. Like the difference is that both of us had gone to school first, so it was easy to jump into multiples because we were graphic designers.
Yeah. Well, like I said, by the time I started doing multiple things, I had a lot of skills. I mean, I knew from one project how to design catalogs. I knew from another project not just one project, several projects, but how to put together fonts. You remember DJ Inkers? I used to put together all of her fonts for her. She'd send me illustrations and I'd turn them into typable fonts. So I learned these skills all along the way so that when I started my own company, I was able to design dyes and fabric and fonts and patterns and SVGs. I started using the cutting machines to design those kit of the months for CK Media long before SVGs were a thing. So the day that those started needing SVGs, I was like, oh, I'm on top of this. I've been designing packaging and products using a cutting machine before it was really a thing to buy an SVG.
And also you're going to get some misses. So Lori probably doesn't know this. I actually signed a contract with a different die cutting company before Silhouette.
Oh, really?
And so I was doing cartridges, not for Cricut, but for a totally different company that was like kind of an up and starting. And I just couldn't see how far they were going to go, and then made the switch over to Silhouette. And that's the thing. It's like lots of misses along the way,
right? Not everything is a hit, for sure.
Yeah. I have lots of misses. Like when I look back, I'm like, oh, I signed a deal with them and I didn't only make $200. And I signed a deal with them and I only made $200.
Okay.
I sell another deal and it's like, oh, that deal was like, that was the right deal.
Yeah, for sure. One of my very first scrapbooking contracts, I won't mention the company, but I signed an NDA.
Oh, shoot.
Which is like straight out of school. Do not do that. Like I was just really excited to have a contract, and I was so new at it. And then I was scared to do anything else in the industry after that. After they went out of business, I was still scared that I was going to get in trouble for using my skills in the industry. Anyways, don't ever sign one of those.
Don't really sign very many exclusives, guys.
Yeah. Because it was for scrapbook paper or something. I don't know, 30 years ago. Yeah. But yeah, don't do that. Keep your rights to continue working in the industry. Be very careful with that.
I agree. Okay, you guys want to ask some questions? Yes, we're monitoring now. Sorry, we're coming back to your guys' comments. So Anne says, hello, ladies. Happy Catcher Live. Lori, you're one of my favorite creators.
Aw, thank you, Anne.
So good. Christine said connection and communication along with hard work. Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely. You've got to put in the work for sure.
Yeah. Oh, Miss Joyce says that some of the language you guys are speaking is like Spanish. Go get a design degree. I mean, yes, like there are certain things that we talk about in industry. Like if we talk about SVGs, those are a die cut file. They work for lasers. They work for Silhouette machines. But yeah, I think the more niche you get, and I'm not just talking about die cuts, like anything, like if you get into direct to film, right? And sometimes my girlfriends will laugh because I'm like, DTF, and they're like, what are you saying there? Because that could mean some other things, Carina. I'm talking about direct to film, right? It's really, the more you get in industry, the better you're going to get at the lingo and language that we're talking about. Okay. Christy said, wow, I remember cork was so easy. Ooh. Yes. So awesome. Okay. Christine says, glad to hear the leap of faith. I'm 10 months in from quitting the day job and I'm working like my hair is on fire. Good job, Christine. That's so awesome.
Yay.
I love it. It is hard work, guys. You have to make the choice. Hi, Tamara. You have to make the choice that you're going to do the work. And I don't think you have to do 14-hour days, But, depends on what level of success you really want, right?
Yeah. Well, and it depends on your situation. I was being presented with more opportunities than I could handle. And I kind of wanted to handle them because I wasn't sure which one was going to be a dud and which one was going to be awesome. So I was pretty much taking on probably more than I should have, but several of them did turn out to be really good.
Yeah.
And had I said no to some of them, I was just scared to say no to some of them. That's all I'll say. Some of the companies have fallen out of the industry and some are definitely still here. And I'm glad I took a chance on all of them to just figure out which ones were good to go.
I think you couldn't have known, especially back then, but I think it's now as well. Like, it's really hard to tell who's going to be successful. Any kind of new company that comes up. I remember when Asia on my team said, I had this company message me. They seem like they're new and I think they could be good. And I'm like, I've never heard of them before. Turns out they were like in my backyard. Like, I didn't even realize it. And then went up and visited them and they were awesome. But like, you just don't know who's going to be successful and who's just talking, right? But I would say, I mean, what advice would you give? Like, if you were starting now, what would you do?
I just think, like I said, I had to just kind of give a chance to some of them and get to know them a little bit better to kind of feel out the situation and decide. I mean, you have a pretty good intuition, right? Like, is this a solid business? Do they know what they're doing? Do they know what they're talking about? Do they have money to back it? These types of things. So if something's out of whack or it feels out of place or you're not getting paid on time, move on, because
if you're not getting paid on time, that's like a red flag. Mm-hmm. And if you've been with a company for a while and they're not paying you on time now, like they have been for in the past, I would still just really keep an eye on that because companies' situations change.
Yeah, absolutely. Cash flow can become an issue really quick if there's something out of balance in the business.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I think my advice to you would be to try it, just go for it, right? Like what's going to hurt? Like, as long as you like go in with any of these companies, like the worst that's going to happen is you've put in time and that really sucks, but hopefully you've gained new skills during that time.
You're going to get experience no matter what.
Yeah. Especially as a newbie, you kind of, don't sign NDAs, don't sign exclusives, right? But other than that, like, especially a new company that's like, hey, Carina, we can do this, this, and this. I had a company come to me and I was big enough in the industry, and this is a little while ago, but they said, we really want your stuff on our platform. And I said, I really don't have time to upload it. And they said, we will upload it for you. And I said, okay, then you've got yourself a deal. Okay. And so it's just like, you'd be surprised. Like, did I have that at the beginning? No, nobody was going to take any of my stuff and do anything.
That's true.
But like, you will get to a place if you really just like kind of dig in and you make yourself invaluable to people. Mm-hmm. Also, people want to work with nice people. Yeah. Don't you think?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. If you can show that you can meet deadlines, you're nice, you're kind, you can take criticism without like crying or like, I don't know, like those were some of the issues at the beginning of a career like this. Like, you've got to learn to have a backbone, and like the criticism isn't about you. It might be about some business goal they have or what they know sells. And it's not about what you've designed. You just got to take that and mold it to what the customer's wanting. And that, I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with that.
It is rough to take criticism, but I will say at the beginning, some of the harshest criticism I got probably was the best stuff because it molded the way I was able to work with other designers or CEOs or creative directors. And then once you work with people that like you, know that you're going to put together a really beautiful product for them. Also, that you're able to listen and change your stuff based on what they want.
Yeah.
If you can do those things, you are invaluable forever. Like, you really are. That's like, true. It's very hard to get rid of you because like they want what you have.
Yeah, that's so true. Sometimes I'll design something that I think is just awesome. I love the colors, but the client has a little bit different vision for where that product needs to be within their lineup of products, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. So maybe the colors get tweaked a little, or maybe that's looking too similar to something else they're already doing and they wanted something completely different. I don't know. Sometimes we don't have the full picture, but they'll send back feedback that'll kind of direct it in a way you might not have been planning on. But if you can do it and move through it and move on to the next project. Like you said, you'll be invaluable and you'll be trusted, that you're not going to like get too upset about having to make some changes. Like you need to create things they want to buy, right?
Yeah. I think right now, especially what I'm seeing in the space is we're being told as designers that you can just make whatever you want and it just has to be pretty and you'll make money. And I think that's kind of what that question was alluding to.
Mm-hmm.
The answer is that's really not the case. Like to design means you have to listen to clients. You have to listen to your own marketing research based on whatever you're doing. And if I'm being honest, surface pattern design, which is kind of a newer term, like we just called it fabric or wallpaper or whatever. We're more product designers. It's tough. I've never, ever seen it the way I've seen it now. Like I just think surface pattern design is kind of rough. So if I were to right now, knowing what I know, bet my career on it, I'm like, that would not be the place I would put myself. There's some beautiful stuff in it, but like I'd want to be a full graphic designer who knows how to work in a lot of different mediums.
For sure.
You know, I thought of this during COVID. So we didn't know how things were going to go in COVID, and it ended up being awesome for us. We ended up having a really good go. But I remember at the beginning, I thought, I think everything's going to fall apart. Okay, what are you going to do? And I was just like, I'm just going to start making phone calls and I'm going to start doing freelance again. And I was just like, whatever happens, I was like, I'm going to keep us afloat. We're going to be totally fine. As it turned out, I didn't have to do that. But, you know, I'm grateful to be a designer who's willing to do what it takes to make money, because it changes the way you design, because you're more willing to do what clients want you to do. You're more willing to find out what the market wants from you, because even though I'm designing whatever I want for all these platforms, I'm paying attention to what is selling the best.
Absolutely. Yes. If you design just blindly what you want to design, it's not likely you'll make a ton of money.
You just have something.
Unless you do. Right. But even then, you're going to pay attention to what of those tins sold and why. And you're going to be analyzing it like, okay, they like this feature, that feature, and I'm going to create more of that. Or I'm going to create, I don't know, you dig in differently on, like, I don't know. If you have something that goes viral, you make more of it, right? You know,
that is all there is to it. And it's doing market research on your own stuff. Also, don't do market research on other people's stuff, because it actually does not help you. Okay. I'm just going to tell you that right now. So just because it's trending on the market doesn't mean you'll actually be able to sell it.
That's true. I would put something out into the world and just see how it goes. If you see that this one design is sold 10 times and the rest aren't selling at all, figure out what it is about that one design that people like about what you're creating. And then figure out how to build on that. That leads a lot of what I design. It really does.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. Like I'm always looking for what's the winners in my own stuff. Because that's what people are going to come back and look for me for.
And then sometimes that kind of wears out. Like you're like, oh, well, that did sell really well in 2020, but not so much in 2025. And there's really no rhyme or reason to it. It's just what the market's asking for. And you've got to pay attention to that. Because if you keep trying to sell ice to an Eskimo, you're just not going to sell anything, right?
That's like incredibly perfect. I love this. Christy says, Carina, your background roses look amazing. Thank you. That took some time to set up.
You guys, this little barn building is so cute. I just love it.
So fun. Okay, we're going to take any other questions you guys might have. If you want to leave us a question in the chat, we are just looking to see if there are any other questions here. You guys are so awesome. Otherwise, we'll probably wrap it up unless you have any other advice for them. I mean, we kind of like, Christine had asked in an earlier meeting, like, I would love to know how Lori got started. You kind of already told us that. Do you want to give us a little more of a synopsis on that?
Yeah. So I've always been a crafter my whole life. Like my mom would roll out a big sheet of paper on the ground, like butcher paper, and I would just draw and create all day long. And then my sister, she's 16 years older than me. She introduced me to scrapbooking when I was in my teen years, and I just loved it. I created our family newsletter, all of that kind of things were happening when I was younger. And then, I mean, I'm getting kind of older, guys, like the advent of the computer and, you know, software from Adobe, that was all pretty new when I was going to college. And I kind of learned about graphic design. I'm like, I want to do that. My dad had bought an Apple IIe when I was 7 years old. And I loved computers. Like I was hooked from 7 on, and I was hooked on crafting. And I went to college and I knew exactly what I wanted to do. So I walked into the design department at BYU and I was like, how do I do this for my major? And they're like, well, you need a portfolio. And I'm like, what's a portfolio? Really, I didn't have any idea. I was fresh off the farm in South Dakota. Anyways, they were like, well, go take some art classes, put together some slides, turn in an application. So I did all of that. I mean, I spent a semester pulling together a portfolio, showing them what I could do, and applied. And then I got into the design program, and they were cutting like half the class every semester. So it was terrifying all through design school. Like, you're worried if you're going to even make it through.
My oldest daughter is going through that right now for animation.
Is she at BYU?
She's at BYU.
Oh my gosh. It was rigorous. It was rigorous. It was scary. And I had friends that would leave the like portfolio reviews in tears, crying, like they'd just been cut. They're like, go find another job. You're not going to make it. They were brutal. They were brutal. Anyways, so I left there and started working I worked for a little modem company for a little while, designing packaging. Then I started working for an ad agency up in Ogden, and then they were using PCs. And so I quit that job after about 6 months. I didn't really like it. Then I started working at a studio that had Mac computers, which I loved, of course. So I flourished there. I was there for 8 years. And that's when I had my youngest baby. I had 2 kids through all of that other. And then I had my youngest, and I decided I needed to quit and start freelancing. So I did. I went in and quit my job and started working from home. And it was the best decision ever. Like, literally, just one contract led to the next. I started out with CK Media, designing their Kid of the Month, their scrapbook reward stuff. That I talked about that a little bit already, but and that led me, when CK Media broke up and sold to Pinnacle, Prime Media. Sorry, they sold to Prime Media. It just left me with like 10 different contacts with 10 new jobs. Like, that turned into exactly like what I had said before. It's who you know. I had like 10 different companies wanting work for me. So that's what led me to all the different things I've done in the crafting industry. So, I mean, what a blessing. I was able to take my crafting that I loved, sewing, scrapbooking, creating, and my career, which was graphic design, and just marry them and work in this industry. And it's been such a blessing. I've loved every minute of it.
Yeah, we have been really lucky, but I also think I see how hard you work, and we've seen each other over the years. Like, because Lori and I we just cross paths, right? Yeah. Like at shows, at Silhouette Summits, and you've always worked extremely hard.
Thanks. Yeah, you too.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's fun to have friends within the industry that kind of understand you, because my regular neighbors are kind of like, now what do you do? But I know, like, we kind of get each other. Like, yeah.
Well, my favorite is like, if someone asked, I remember, like, so what do you do for a living? I'd be like, do you know what a Cricut or a Silhouette machine is? And if they didn't know, I was just like, crafting. Like, I was like, stop. I'd be like, I just do some crafting things, just like whatever. But like, if they're like, oh yeah, I know what a Cricut is. I was like, okay, I designed those files. They'd be like, oh, okay. And then I'd be like, well, and then I designed these quilting fabrics. And they go, oh,
yeah.
And I'm like, okay, the thing that makes me the least amount of money gets you the most excited.
So true. Same experience.
It's like the thing that everybody really wants to do. I'm kind of like, yeah, that's not the thing that makes me any kind of money. So, but it's wonderful.
It is awesome. And my quilting friends absolutely love to come to my basement, and we have fun. Yeah.
So it's super duper good. I love it. I think we're going to wrap up, you guys. If you guys want to find out more about Lori, if you want to go see what she's up to now, because she's doing so many fabulous things right now, where can they find you, Lori?
Well, you can find me across all social media channels at Lori Whitlock. It's pretty easy.
I'm going to spell that for you guys. It's Lori. So nothing on the end of it. So Lori Whitlock. And then also they should check out your website.
Okay. Yeah. So shop.loriwhitlock.com is where my SVG files are.
Yeah.
And then you can find me at Silhouette and
Silhouette.
Echo Park Paper and all sorts of places. And then go check me out on social media. We have fun tutorials, posting all the time about projects and cute things you can make in the crafting world.
Fun. Yeah, Lori's still designing away, and I'm kind of jealous of her because I miss some of that life.
I kind of hung on to it because I love it so much.
I know. That's the problem, because it is delightful to
Mhm.
create something new.
Mhm.
I also really, I miss a lot of them actually, the relationships I built, because when I started our education side of things, it's like a whole different world. So I'm
Yeah.
not hanging out with the people at Echo Park anymore. I'm not hanging out with the people at Silhouette really anymore. Although they did just send me that really big box. So
Oh, nice.
I'm excited to see what that is.
I bet it's a machine.
It looks like a machine.
Cool.
Should we unbox it here, you guys? Tell us in the chat if you want us to open it.
I
up.
think so. I want to see it.
Here, I'll go over and grab it.
Yes, this is something else I think we saw in Japan. My guess.
I'm going to put it in Lori's lap.
Okay,
and then
okay.
Lori can.
Let's see here.
And let me get a pair of scissors.
Oh, I have nails.
I'm like trying to get the scissors.
Okay,
Okay.
this
here
side. We need
this
scissors
one?
on this
Here.
end. Okay.
Wait, I think that is what I think it is.
Yes, it is.
Do you guys see that? You guys can't see that. We're going to pull it all the way out.
Okay, let's
Do you
see.
guys see that?
We'll sit it down on the floor.
Okay, yeah.
And then
We'll
pull
pull
it
it
out.
out on either side.
Wow, this is the which one? Pro?
I think it's the Mark II.
Mark II? Oh my goodness.
I think it's upside down. Hold
Is
on.
it?
Flip.
Oh,
flip.
there we go.
Oh, yeah. There
Okay.
it is.
Should we rotate it around so
Let's
they can
just
see the front?
Okay, here. Rotate it.
Let's not
And
take
then
out the camera.
We'll rip this.
Wow. Beautiful.
Oh, thank you, Silhouette.
That's awesome. Awesome.
You know what I just had a suggestion to do with this? Do you guys want me to do this? Tell me if you want to do this, because I will either YouTube live the whole thing, or I will record it. But the idea was to do vinyl on the barn and do a whole bunch of like spider webs.
Oh
and
my gosh,
spiders
cute.
on the outside vinyl of the whole barn.
You should
I'm
totally
trying to
do it.
decide how many days it will take me to do that.
Well, with this, a little bit, few
It'll be
days.
a little bit faster,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I love it.
It is beautiful. I'm so excited. So just so you guys know, this, we weren't going to talk about this, but the Alpha just came out for Silhouette,
Yes.
and it is now available in our Carina Gardner shop. So if you're like looking for it, we have it on discount already. So if you want it, you can get it from our shop. So
Awesome.
pretty
Cool.
awesome.
All right. Now you just need a stand for this.
I know. I'm like,
Look at the mat, you guys. Oh my gosh. Look at this mat. It's huge.
so good.
That's awesome. Cool.
I'm super excited. I just need to order a ridiculous amount of black vinyl so I can do that.
Yeah.
What can I do for Christmas, you guys?
Oh gosh.
We've talked about a gingerbread house. I think I might get a laser for that.
Oh yeah, that'd be
We're
fun.
kind of talking about buying a laser.
I
for
have
her.
a laser at my house.
Which laser do you have?
I have the Glowforge.
The Glowforge.
I don't know, Pro. The big one. The,
The
giant
big
one.
one?
Yeah.
Are you using it a lot?
No, right now it's covered in paper crafting projects.
Yeah.
I need to go home and dig it out.
That's the problem when you own a lot of machines. We both own a lot of machines. I'm like looking in there, just at the printer, the heat press, the sublimation. There's Cameo 5
Sewing
down there.
machines.
There's
I have
another sewing machine. Oh yeah, there's a sewing
I have
machine
a
right there.
giant embroidery machine. Huge. Like, yeah, I'm running out of space.
And we
A
were
mug
just
press.
talking about
Do you
this.
have a mug press?
No, Sweet Kim does. My sister does. And I was like,
Yeah.
I'll not buy one. I'll just borrow.
Yeah, that's a good idea because that one just got booted out of the office because I'm running out of space.
Yeah.
I don't use it enough to warrant counter space.
This is the problem when you've been doing this for 20 years, or however long we've been doing this.
Yeah.
Because you do just start running out of space. So like I built the barn and Lori was just talking about like, I don't know what we're going to do because my office is creeping, because that was what was happening to me.
Mhm.
My office was creeping into the kitchen, into the mudroom, to the shed. And I was just like, I can't do this. And then plus I was taking up space in the basement as well. And I was just like, something has to change.
Yeah. I'm kind of to that breaking point too, because I'm in the basement and I'm already taking up half the basement, but the fabric's creeping into the lining the family room. And I'm like, okay, we've got to figure out either a barn or just a different configuration on the house or add on. I don't know. We need.
Laura just told me something cool though. They built her house.
Oh yeah, we did. Yeah,
That's so crazy.
we did. We've been in it for about 22 years now. It's awesome. It was fun. We were the general contractors on it and subbed out everything, and we laid floor and painted and trimmed and all the things. It was fun. It was fun.
That's so crazy. I'm like, she asked if I had a contractor, if I did this. I was like, no, there was a contractor. There's multiple contractors. So
Yeah.
pretty awesome.
Any more questions?
Yeah, Tiffany's saying she wants the Thunder laser bolt. Yeah, I feel like someone else I talked to was really liking that. And Tiffany's saying I'm planning on getting a laser at the end of the year.
Yeah.
You are so welcome. We're so glad that we could be here with you guys.
Yes.
We hope you guys all have such a wonderful day. Go check out Lori on her website, and you can find all of her socials there if you want to. You guys know where to find me. Thank you for being here. If you don't mind doing me a favor and just liking this video and subscribing to the channel. I know you hear those words all the time, like and subscribe. But really, really, will you please like this video so more people can see it? And then if you don't mind subscribing to the channel, I would love it. All right, guys.
You can come over to mine too. I'll probably be posting this.
We're going to post this
as well on mine. So come over and like and subscribe at Lori Whitlock as well.
See you guys.
See ya.
Want to hang out more? Go to designsweetcourses.com/free to get our weekly freebies and patterns, die cut files, and more. Can't wait to see you there.